Hi, you may be interested in, these new bigger flies and streamers in particular. And I tend to be a small fly fisherman, but every now and then you need to make some nice big old streamers. And I've been noticing a lot of materials in the fly shop. That's these sort of plastics and holograms and stuff. And I've been tying flies using secret materials for a long time. So the first thing I'm going to do is in the vise I've just put, I think this is a number 6 hook. I couldn't find any. I know I have some wide gap hooks here somewhere on my bench, but who knows, you never can find it. So I'm just going to start with this number 6 just to give you an idea how this is done. This is the easiest fly in the world, and it uses 2 secret ingredients. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie on a little bit of thread about a third of the way up towards the front. And these are streamers, and they need to go down deep, so I'm just going to put a little bit of weight on this, and maybe 3 or 4 turns of metal. Most people don't like to use lead. I use a kind of a, I don't even know what it is. It's some kind of alloy, and I put that about a third of the way up also. Now here's where we come to the secret ingredient, and this stuff pretty much you have to wait till spring to get it, because what I've learned to use Easter egg grass, and it comes in. I get this like the day after Easter. It's for Easter baskets, and you can get a bag this size for about 50 cents after Easter, and it comes in a variety of colors. And I'll just show you how to use this to make streamers, and it's really pretty amazing. So the first thing you want to do is, or the first thing that I like to do is I start off with a little bit of the pink streamer stuff, and it comes in a bunch of different thicknesses, but this is just some pink, and you run it you try to bring it out straight. You lay it flat, and we're about a third up on the hook, and you just take 2 or 3 turns around it this way, fold it over, take 2 or 3 more turns, and that's pretty much that. Then you get some green. I've got some green already out here. I pulled it out of the package, and see I got a nice big wad of it. I think if I bought this at a fly shop, that would be about $5 worth of this stuff. And I'm going to put this right in front of it, and I'm kind of tying a sort of like, I don't know what this would be, like a rainbow trout sort of a thing. So I think I'm going to do the pink on the bottom and the green on top, and I just bring this back, pull it back, and then I'm going to tie this down. And I'm using black thread here. You can use any kind of material. A gel spun would be fine also. And I'm just going to make kind of my head here. And again, you don't have to be too careful. And I'm going to trim this. I got one escapee here. And this green is kind of interesting because I don't know if you can tell, probably not on the video, but it kind of goes from green. See, you can see there's some different colors here. It goes from green to some pinks and stuff mixed in there. So now this is pretty good right here. And I'm going to tip this down just a hair. But the magic, here comes the magic. Let me put a half hitch or 2 on here, tie this down. And the magic secret weapon. Now you can't spread this around too much, because if the word gets out, who knows what will happen. So you get your fly, you kind of bring it out sort of the way you want it. Okay? Then here's the secret weapon. It's a heat gun, Harbor Freight, $10. Okay, this is what you melt paint off the side of the thing. And I just use it on, it comes in 2 powers. There's a low power and a high power. I found that the low power seems to give you a little bit more control. The high power almost works too well. So now we have this unruly mess, which will actually work pretty well, but this is even cooler. So I turn this on and let the heat get going and kind of pull this back a bit. And in a second, it kind of melts the top, and you can put a narrow profile on this, and these things start to fuse together into a nice narrow profile. Then finally, let's take this out of this thing. See, I've got this cool kind of thing. It's a little bit crazy out here, and this is where I would then take a scissor and kind of cut it into the profile that you want. And I kind of like that, and then maybe even cut a little bit out of the center, just so it's got kind of a top and a bottom profile to it. And there you go. Look, it's got this nice narrow profile because it's all sort of fused together up here, so it swims through the water like this. If you want to get a little bit, if you actually have some patience, you actually can get, some of these little, technical term for this is googly eyes, I think. And you can get a couple of these googly eyes, put a little glue on them, stick them up there. It gives you some eyes if you want some eye patterns on there. I tend not to have enough patience to do it. But this is the super simple, super cheap way of making a streamer. And you can make them in all kinds of cool colors, and it's just pretty amazing. Very easy, very inexpensive. And I mean, look at that profile. You can't get any better than that. I'd probably, if I were to spend a little more time, I would have made that whole head sort of dark. Sometimes putting the weight closer to the front, closer to the back, depending upon how you like the action, and a nice wide gap hook would probably work. But that's a killer right there. See ya.